Today we will do our next chapter of 10th class, that is how do organisms reproduce. So what do you mean by reproduction? Actually it is a process by which an individual produces young ones which are of same kind for the continuation of life and for the maintenance of species, because every person has some lifespan and every person has to die. When they will die, there should be somebody who can run the species. In order to carry over that process, we have to reproduce. So reproduction is of two types, that is asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Now what is asexual reproduction? As the name is telling you, asexual means it is a reproduction in which a single parent produces offsprings, and sexual reproduction means where two parents are needed and of opposite sex. So first I will tell you about asexual reproduction. Actually gametes are not produced in this reproduction. Only the offsprings produced are exactly identical to the parent. So you can say they are exactly clones of each other, or they are exactly copy of each other. And in sexual reproduction, male and female gametes are produced, and the offsprings produced are not identical, but they may resemble to any one of the parent or from with both of the parents. First of all, we will do in detail about the asexual reproduction. Types of asexual reproduction. It is of 6 types. First is budding. Budding means it is a mode of asexual reproduction in which a small outgrowth called bud develops on the parent body. The nucleus and the cytoplasm divides and enters the bud. The bud grows in size and may get detached from the body, for example in hydra or in yeast. In yeast there is multiple budding, means one bud is overlapped by another bud, and in hydra there is only one bud. Now second type of asexual reproduction is fission. It is again of two types, multiple fission and binary fission. First of all, I will tell you about binary fission. Binary fission means the organism is divided into two equal and identical daughter cells. The nucleus divides first, followed by the division of the cytoplasm. Then fission can be transverse, plane, or in any form. For example, in amoeba it is transverse. In paramecium or in euglena it is longitudinal. Now we will do about multiple fission. Multiple fission means the process of nucleus of an organism dividing repeatedly to form a number of equal sized similar daughter nuclei, and each daughter nuclei gets surrounded by a bit within the cyst. When the cyst breaks, the daughter cells are liberated, for example plasmodium. Now third type of asexual reproduction is fragmentation. In this method, a plant that breaks up into a number of pieces, number of fragments form, and each fragment can grow into a new and independent individual, for example Spirogyra. So next is fourth one is regeneration. It is the ability of an organism to give rise to a new individual from their body part, for example hydra, planaria, starfish, etc. You can see in the diagram. Fifth type of asexual reproduction is vegetative propagation. Vegetative propagation is of two types, natural and artificial. In natural vegetative propagation, there is a process when a plant produces vegetatively from its any part, like or from leaf, from stem, or from any other part. So from leaf it grows a new plant, as on the notches it grew up into new buds, and they can develop into a new plant, for example bryophyllum. Artificial vegetative propagation is of two types, grafting and layering. Grafting, in this process a part of one plant is joined with another plant of so that so that they can unite and grow as one plant. The rooted plant is called stalk, and the part to be grafted is called scion, Scion. For example, mango, rose, China rose, etc. In layering, the process in which a branch of the plant is buried in the soil to produce roots. It may remain attached to the parent plant or may get detached after it is fully matured. For example, jasmine, etc. Now, the last process of asexual reproduction is spore formation. In formation, there are minute unicellular reproductive bodies which get dispersed to form new individuals on germination, are called spores. They are they can be belong to bacteria, fungi, algae, etc. Spore formation in rhizopus or in bread mold you must have seen. As it grew up into small hyphae like structure where they are thread like structure. Some of the hyphae are aerial and have black blobs called sporangia. These sporangia contain spores which remain covered and are protected by thick walls of sporangia. When the sporangia burst, spores are released in air and they begin to grow when come in contact with any moist surface. Now we will do sexual reproduction. So sexual reproduction, as we know, takes place only in animals, and they should be of two separate sexes, male reproductive system and female reproductive system. So we will discuss about male reproductive system first. In male reproductive system, we have certain organs and we will do one by one in detail. First is testes. This is oval paired structures which lie outside the abdominal cavity in the pouch of the loose skin called scrotum. Its temperature is 2 to 3 degree less than the normal body temperature. As we know, it required less temperature than body in order to grow the sperms or in formation of sperms. So its main function is to regulate the formation of sperms, and it secretes hormone known as testosterone. Testosterone brings the changes in the appearance of body at the time of puberty. And second one is epididymis. Each testis opens in a long coiled tubule structure called epididymis. Its function is to nourish and store the sperms. Third one is vasa deferens. Epididymis on both the sides open into thick muscular tube called vasa deferens, which is around 30 to 35 centimeter long. Its function is to carry sperm. The fourth reproductive system in male is seminal vesicles. These are the pair of tubulated glands that release seminal plasma, which is viscous and alkaline. It nourishes the sperm and stimulates it. Next one is prostate gland. It is a single large gland and its secretion is thick, milky and alkaline, which provide mobility to the sperm. And the secretion from seminal vesicle and prostate gland get mixed with sperm to form a sperm carrying fluid called semen. Now the next one is urethra. Vasa deferens from both the sides unite with a tube urethra coming out from urinary bladder. Hence urethra is a common passage for both sperm and urine. Note this thing also. Now the last one is penis. It is a male copulatory organ. Through the center of penis there is a passage called urethra. Hence penis becomes the organ which releases the sperm into female genital tract during copulation. Now we will do about female reproductive system. First is ovary. It is primary sex organ in the females. There are pair of almond-shaped female gland which lie in the lower abdominal cavity. When a girl is born, ovary already contains thousands of immature eggs. On reaching puberty, some of these start maturing. One egg is produced every month by one of the ovary. The release of mature ova from ovaries is called ovulation. So you can come across for a question like define ovulation. So note down. Along with the ova, ovary also secrete the hormones called estrogen and progesterone. In estrogen, estrogen, and you can also use oestrogen. O is silent. Now, secondary sexual characters in females at the time of puberty are regulated by estrogen and progesterone. Now the second one is fallopian tube. There are a pair of curved tube about 10 to 12 centimeter in length at their distal end. They open into a nude chamber called uterus, whereas the proximal end lies near ovary. The proximal end is funnel shaped to receive the ovum by the ovary. The next one is uterus. It is a muscular thick walled structure which is specialized to retain and nourish the fetus during pregnancy. Next one is cervix. Cervix is a uterus tapers towards the lower end to form cervix. And last one is vagina. Cervix opens into vagina, which is a copulatory organ. You can say it is a passage for menstrual flow also, and it is the passage or the receivery passage for the sperms. Now we will do the difference between sperm and ovum. Sperm is a male gamete and it is produced by testes. It is motile and it has flagella. It is smaller and elongated. Millions of sperms are produced in one time. But about ova, note down, it is the female gamete produced by ovary. It is non-motile. It is bigger and round shape. Only one ovum is produced at one time. Other questions that will come in this chapter are implantation, placenta. What do you mean by implantation, placenta, and how do fertilization takes place, and so many other type of questions you can come across. I will tell you each and every in detail one by one. First, note down implantation. It is the attachment of zygote to the wall of uterus. Only this much is sufficient. Then what is the placenta? The embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood through a disc-shaped structure called placenta. Now, what is gestation period? The development of child inside the mother's body up to approximately 9 months is called gestation period. And what is menarche? It is the stage in the females marks the beginning of reproductive phase with the stage of puberty. And what is menopause? It is the stoppage of menstrual cycle at the age of 45 to 50 years, which marks the stoppage of reproductive phase. Now we will do what is menstrual cycle. It is the series of cyclic changes that occur in the reproductive area of the female with periodicity of around 28 or 25 days. It lasts for usually 2 to 8 days. In this chapter, we should also know about the full form of STD, that is sexually transmitted diseases. And what are they? They are like AIDS, gonorrhea, syphilis, and warts. So these are the diseases that transmits from one person to another only by sexual processes only. So one should avoid So, in order to avoid these STDs, one should be very careful about certain things by using contraceptive devices and by using cleanliness. Contraceptive devices are the techniques that prevent or you can say they help in preventing the pregnancy or unwanted pregnancy. So they are mechanical barriers, hormonal methods, chemical methods, and surgical methods. Mechanical barriers are like condoms, cervical caps, and IUCD. What is IUCD? These are intrauterine contraceptive devices. And next one is hormonal method. Hormonal methods are there are some oral pills that can be used for changing of hormones. They can change the hormones system so that pregnancy can't occur. Third one is chemical method, that is by using jellies or tablets, and this is used on vagina in order to kill the sperms. Last one is surgical method, that is vasectomy and tubectomy. Vasectomy means the vasa difference in the males is blocked by tying it or by cutting a small piece and tying the rest. This prevents the passage of sperms from the testes. And similar method is used in female, that is tubectomy, in which a portion of both fallopian tube in female is cut or blocked in order to block the passage of ovum. But there are some limitations of these surgical methods, that sometimes they can be problematic, like they can cause certain nausea feeling, or sometimes surgical methods is not performed properly. So one has to be very careful about these things also. During puberty, What are the changes that occurs in female and male body? You can do in detail, as you can write down some points, and in NCERT it is given very clearly that in females, the high pitch voice, little bit broadening of pelvis, breast size increases, and darkening of skin of nipples, and this much is required only, or the appearance of hair and in pubic area and armpits, etc. In males, in boys, there is growth of hair in on the face, and broadening of shoulders, widening of chest, growth of muscles of larynx, resulting in very cracking voice, enlargement of testes and other parts of male reproductive system. Adam's apple comes out. Now we will do about flowers, that how do flower reproduce. There are two types of sexes in them, that is unisexual and bisexual. Unisexual means only stamens or carpels are present, and bisexual means both stamen and carpels are present. What is stamen and what is carpel? They are male and female reproductive system. We will do it in detail. Carpel is the female reproductive part of flower. It consists of swollen bottom part placed in thalamus called ovary, middle elongated part called style, and the terminal part, which may be sticky, is called stigma. The ovary contains ovule which lie in the tissue called placenta. Each ovule has an egg cell, and during fertilization, the pollens come here and fertilize. Stamen is the male reproductive part of the flower. Each stamen consists of long filament, and on the top of the filament there is a bilobed anther. Anther consists of pollen grains which have male gametes. It, with the help of air, water, or animals, it go and stick to the stigma of female part, and through pollen tube it reaches to ovary and fertilize there. Now a question can come, that is, define pollination. It is the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of the same flower or some another flower of same species by the agents like birds, insects, air, etc. And it is of two types, self-pollination and cross-pollination. If the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma of same flower, then it is self-pollination, and if the transfer of pollen grains from anther to the stigma of another flower of some same species, that is known as cross pollination.